Hi, my name's Kelaska, and you're watching The Music Enthusiast.
Hi, I'm Sarah from Music Enthusiast, and today I'm here with Kelaska. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
So good. I'm super excited to be talking to you. To start the conversation off, what's the first thing you listened to today?
Oh, I actually didn't listen to anything today.
Really?
Strangely,
Is
I
it like,
don't.
where are you right now? Like, is it early or have you just not listened to anything today?
I just have been kind of on the go today. I had to go grocery shopping. I think like we just threw it on the radio. I'm trying to think like even what is the first song that came on. Actually, you know what came on first was Circles by Post Malone was on the radio. So I
I mean,
guess that counts.
yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah. What's your most like fondest musical memory growing up?
I would say when I was I was probably around 8 years old, my parents brought home a karaoke machine, and it was a pretty decent one. It was, large, and we had this huge book of CDs. And from then on, I would just spend hours and hours on that thing. I'd have all my friends come over, and none of them were like really into music, but I'd be like, we have to sing. And then we'd sing for about 5 hours a day. And I loved that thing.
Do you think that sort of inspired like you making like covers on YouTube like now?
Probably I would say, because yeah, I always just really, really loved going through the whole book and like doing every single one that I even slightly knew. So yeah, I never thought about that, but probably.
So when you finished the book, did you have to get new ones or did you just keep going on with that book?
Oh yeah, it's funny because I feel like even in Walmart or anywhere you used to go, they would sell karaoke CDs, and my mom loved it too. So anytime we'd go to the store, we'd say, let's check if they have the new ones out, because they'd usually sell like 2001 pop hits, and then 2002, and so you'd want to get all of them, all
And
the new
what was your
songs.
favorite?
I'm trying to think. You know what I loved to sing on karaoke growing up was a lot of Christina Aguilera. I would always my warm-up song would be, I think it was called Come On Over
Yeah.
by her. I loved singing that one like every day.
And like growing up too, like you started singing at 3 years old, you like discovered 60s and 70s music and like you're like your first few years of high school and then you merged on to like indie at the same time. So how do you feel
Yes.
like all those genres, all those different like areas of music sort of like brought you to where you are today?
I think actually it's been kind of a struggle to get to where I am, but I'm glad that it seems to be finally working out, because for the longest time, I didn't really know what kind of sound I wanted to portray as an artist. So if you go through the rest of my catalog, you have some songs that are kind of dark, like Smother Me. They're a little bit Billie Eilish
Yeah.
inspired, um esque. But then there's also like Casey Musgraves inspired songs, like Springsteen. A lot of my EP was that. And for the longest time, because they're kind of drastically different sounds, I couldn't decide. I'd come out with a couple dark ones and then end up going back to the Casey Musgraves ish ones. And but finally I sat down with my producer, his name's Mac, and we said, what do we want the sound to be like going forward? How can we kind of introduce a little bit of both? I found too, when I would lean towards more brighter sounds, a lot more people would say, oh, you're releasing country music. And I would be like, no, like I don't like country music, besides Casey, of course. So I think I got rid of a little bit of that, and then kind of, yeah, started to incorporate a little more 70s and 80s here and there with the synths. But I always like the dark stuff, so I try to incorporate a little bit of that now too.
Sort of like brings you more of like sort of like painting platter of different people who listen to your music.
Yeah, I wanted to meet somewhere in the middle, so hopefully if somebody listened to each side of those, they could find some common ground in it.
Yeah, exactly. Even with like Long Way Home, it's like more like I think it's more like country, like acoustic guitar vibe. And then with this new song Tightrope, it's like darker, it's like a mix of like sadness and like angst and like
Yes.
a merge of both things, which is, I mean, the song's being released on Friday. So first off, how are you feeling? Like, where are you right now in your mind?
It almost feels like it's not true. It's weird because you work on a song so many months before the release that when the release finally comes, you're like thinking that you still have more time, or it seems like unimaginable that it's going to be out and everybody's going to hear it, but it's also so exciting. I feel like that's definitely my favorite times of life, is when I do release a song and you can check in and see if people like it or what parts resonate with them. It's
Yeah.
always nice to hear.
And I heard this song like took a while for you guys to make, and like I guess it was like frustrating at some point. So how did you sort of like get past that frustrating point? And what was it like, sort of just like being like, oh, we finally got it?
It's funny because the song was in the trash truly probably 10 times. It felt like if we released it at certain points, people would be like, yeah, okay, like this is a song, but nothing was really sticking out about the mix or the delivery or anything. We started off when we first wrote it, or when I wrote the guitar to it, it was a little bit more just acousticy. And I was like, I don't want this to be necessarily just like a really pretty song. I want it to have a little bit of angst. And eventually we came up with having some of the guitars be a little bit punk inspired, a little punk rockish, still pop though. And that when that started to kick in, then we were like, okay, we have a direction. But even after that, we were still going back and forth with it. Like, is this cool? Is it weird? Because it kind of is a strange genre. I don't even really know what to call it. It's kind of got its foot in a bunch of different waters, but yeah, when we finally finished it, we were like, okay, like now we've added backing vocals, everything seems a little bit cohesive. And then that felt really good, because then also by that time, because this one took months, we were like, let's get this one out and now we can start working on something fun. But I'm excited for it. Yeah.
Totally worth it. The song's amazing and the music video is too. So I
Thank
mean,
you so much.
freezing when you guys like filmed this music video and you had to put mud on your face and it was even more cold. So how was that experience?
Oddly, so when I did the album cover, which I also put mud on myself, I think I did that back in February, and it was one of the coldest days I've ever experienced in my life. And yeah, when I added the mud, everything, it was so cold. I was like shivering, and then we'd be like, okay, we're gonna do a photo, and then I'd like have to compose myself. But so when we were planning the music video, I think we shot that not too long ago. It was maybe a couple weeks ago, so it's still April. But I was dreading it. I was thinking it was going to be as cold, and we lucked out and we got a day that was, I think it was like 65.
Okay, cool.
So it was so lucky. It wasn't very cold that day at all.
Yeah, and the mud totally like sort of brings like the whole like inspiration for this song, just like growing up with people telling you who to be, telling you what to look like, whatever, and like just
Yeah.
being like a big fu with like, I'm gonna put mud on my face and I'm gonna rock it. So
Yes, exactly. It's just, I don't know. I am so tired of just every aspect of my life, somebody mentioning like, oh, well, you shouldn't dye your hair green because like you look so pretty with the red hair. Or like, I'd go like get my driver's license and the people would be like, okay, you're gonna smile with your teeth. And I'd be like, or the first time he took the photo, he's like, well, maybe we should do it again. And I was like, okay. And then he took another one. And that's when he was like, you're going to smile with your teeth. And I was like, no. And I'm just so used to like, if I take any photo and I just smile regular, people always have that comment. They're like, you look so pretty when you smile with your teeth. And it's frustrating because not every moment of my life am I thinking about looking pretty. I just want to be alive and do what I want to do.
I found like nature sort of revolves around like your visuals, especially with like
Yes.
cover. So I mean, you're in the woods for this video, you were in like a flower field for like the EP cover. So I mean, what's
Yeah.
coming next?
Right? I know. I gotta have to I'm gonna have to incorporate some other visuals of nature. But yeah, I'm always a big fan of shooting things like in the woods, or even when we came up with the concept for the video, my first thought was, okay, we're gonna get a vanity in the woods. And I don't know what'll come next yet, but that's where I was started with.
And where did you get that vanity? Was it like reused, like Facebook Marketplace, Value Village, or was it just like brand new?
I actually searched Facebook Marketplace forever and I could not find anything near me. I live in kind of a small town. I couldn't find anything within like an hour for, a cheap price because it was just going to end up burned. And then luckily, my mom's cousin had a vanity and he messaged and was like, hey, we have this one, and we painted it and it was perfect. It worked perfect.
Imagine if they made the wrong choice and we're just like, wait, I sort of wanted that back. Like a bit too late now.
What's funny is at first he was like, yeah, I think his wife, he was like, my wife has one she can use. And then you could just give it back. And she was like, oh no, like this one's going to be destroyed. Like it was just ashes at the end of it.
Yeah,
So
because it's literally like real fire. Like your stepdad like works with like in a fire department, so he was like on call to make sure everything was okay. So
yes.
are you scared? Like, are you sort of scared of fire, or are you just like you have no problem with it?
I don't have any problem with it. I wanted to do that. And along the way, a lot of people were like, I don't know, it seems a little dangerous, or I don't know if what we're gonna do. Maybe you could like use an axe, or you could do a baseball bat. And I was like, no, I feel like it would be so cool if we could. And then we did a lot of test runs with just like old dressers or other sort of wood things, and nothing was igniting. We'd throw it on and it would go up a little bit and then it would die out within maybe 5 seconds. And so for the longest time, everybody too was like, I don't know if it's gonna work out that day. I don't know if it'll go up and then you won't have enough time to finish the song. So that was such a surprise in the moment. We totally had no idea that it was gonna light that well.
I mean, it turned out super, super good.
Thank you so much.
No
I
problem.
was shocked.
My next question for you is, after this music video, after this single, what's coming next for you? What can you tell us?
So we are just about to record the vocals for the next song, which should be out, I believe, the end of June. This one's a little bit more upbeat in the way that Long Way Home was, and I think a little bit more fun. I don't have a title for it yet. I'm still digging around trying to figure out what feels right, but I'm really excited for that one because I think people will like it.
I'm so excited for it. And
Thank you.
who are your favorite artists right now?
Ooh, right now, I tend to always go back to like the 70s, 60s, 70s, and listen to those more than I'll listen to new music, which isn't great in this field. So I'm trying to like dip my toe in. For like new artists, I love, of course, like Phoebe Bridgers. I've always loved John Mayer, so I like when he releases new things. Or again, Casey Musgraves is great. But as far as older, like my favorite musicians, I would probably say I really loved the Beatles. Billy Joel's great. Bruce Springsteen.
Amazing.
All of them. James Taylor.
I mean, that's a really, really good list of people to listen to. And thank you so much for chatting with me. It was so much fun.
Yes, thank you so much.